Today I'm going to talk about Google Slide, the Google My Business, for a reason. I was able to identify over the course of many years where we're missing out on audience. As you can see here, it comes as no surprise that Google is the most visited website. The most people are pretty much on Google. There are other search engines such as Bing, Yahoo, Quora. I can go in and go. Now the relevancy of that, it's important because there are people still searching there. Doesn't mean is your ideal client on those platforms. We don't know that. What we know is that the most search are conducted on Google. So to put a number on it, Google is visited monthly about 92 billion times. And this is just in the United States. So think about it, Google is number 1, YouTube is number 2, Facebook right now is number 3, and then it goes from there. So how is your business going to be found in such a crowded audience? Well, here's my answer, which you see in my slide. You become so good that they can't ignore you. Who knows a brand that is so good that cannot be ignored? So if you're a realtor and your brand is so good, can you be ignored? Nope. Here's a recommendation for you that I would like you to take a note. I highly recommend that you take this book, So Good That They Can't Ignore You. This is a book by Cal Newport. I read it myself. It's phenomenal because it gives you some insight in how do you become so good that you cannot be ignored. Remember, we're fighting for human attention. And quite frankly, I am not a big fan of TikTok, little dancing. That's not marketing, okay? That's crying, screaming for attention. It's not professional in my opinion. But that's just me. I'm not saying it's a bad platform. I'm saying that's not necessarily your audience that you look for. But before you become so good, you have to understand how it actually works. People think that, not just think, it's based on my experience with clients. Sometimes I think it's placing a post on a particular platform is going to generate views, and then those people are going to click and they become your customer. I will be very frankly, never happens. You may have 2 or 3 people click on that. It doesn't mean they all the way to the conversion. So you have to take them to a process. One growth formula that professional marketers are using, and the company that I've also studied out there, we use the frame of work called AARR. This is a frame of work to draw key metrics, indicators around your business in relation to your marketing channel. What exactly does that mean? Well, acquisition, how to acquire my first customer. How do you acquire your first customer?
Providing valuable information.
How do you provide valuable information? We have to identify the customers and then create that value based on that client need, yeah? So acquisition, how to acquire my first customer. Now that you acquire your first customer is great, so exciting. Activation, how do you convert them into leads or clients? Just because they saw a pretty picture doesn't mean they're gonna become your customer. So you have to take them from the acquisition, that means that they saw you, all the way to activation. Now they become your client, it's even harder. How do you retain them to keep coming back to you? Because after all, the best client you can have is the one that's keep coming back because he trusts you already. There's no need to push them, right? So retention. And once they become in a phase of retention, now they're going to talk about it, which you call it referral. How to make them spread the word that Beyond is one of the best title companies that we know of it. So we gotta help them and provide value enough to them to take them to the point where they spread the word and they send referral to your business. And of course, all the acquisition, activation, retention, referral generates revenue. Is that enough for one customer? No. How do you make more money? So in a nutshell, this is what we call it R. That's why you have AARRR. R. This is the framework.